Calaroga Shark Media.
Today on Ballot, Trump wins big, Haley finishes third and declares it a two-person race, DeSantis earns his ticket out of Iowa, Ramaswamy is surprised to find out he finished fourth, and Joe Biden needs a write-in. Ron DeSantis secured the second position in the Iowa caucuses, narrowly surpassing Nikki Haley, effectively guaranteeing that the Florida governor will continue his campaign journey, at least until the New Hampshire primary on January 23rd. Despite their efforts, both DeSantis and Haley fell significantly behind Donald Trump, who emerged as the clear winner of the caucuses. After clinching second place, DeSantis addressed the crowd at a campaign event in West Des Moines, stating, "Because of your support, despite all the challenges we faced with everyone against us, we've earned our ticket out of Iowa." DeSantis invested substantial resources in the Hawkeye state, visiting all 99 counties and securing the endorsements of popular Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds. However, DeSantis' supporters expressed dismay at the Associated Press for declaring the race just 30 minutes into the start of the caucuses, even before some caucus goers had cast their votes. They mentioned receiving mobile alerts proclaiming Trump as the winner before surrogates had finished their speeches. Nikki Haley addressed her caucus night gathering in a partially filled ballroom at the West Des Moines Marriott, acknowledging her slightly behind Ron DeSantis' finish. While it wasn't the ideal outcome her supporters had anticipated, she looked ahead optimistically. Haley offered her congratulations to Trump for his victory and announced her immediate plans to head to New Hampshire. She asserted that her strong third-place showing had transformed the Republican primary into a two-person contest with Trump. The third-place finisher said, "I can confidently declare that tonight, Iowa has turned this Republican primary into a two-person showdown." She proceeded to critique both Trump and Biden for their lack of vision for our country's future and argued that a Trump nomination would lead to another closely contested election. "I cherish you, Iowa," she expressed, "but now we're moving on to New Hampshire." A DeSantis aide told Fox, "They threw everything at Ron DeSantis. They couldn't kill him. He is not only still standing, but he's now earned his ticket out of Iowa. This is going to be a long battle ahead, but that is what this campaign is built for. The stakes are too high for this nation, and we will not back down." During his Monday night speech, DeSantis struck a defiant tone while speaking to his supporters. "I can tell you, because of your support, in spite of all of that they threw at us, everyone against us, we've got our ticket punched out of Iowa." Vivek Ramaswamy halted his campaign on Monday and threw his support behind former President Donald Trump after securing a fourth-place finish in the Iowa caucuses. Ramaswamy explained to his supporters, "There's no path for me to be the next president absent things that we don't want to see happen in this country." Prior to addressing his supporters, Ramaswamy had a very friendly conversation with Trump and offered full-throated support for the former president, even though they had publicly clashed in the lead-up to the caucuses. He also left open the possibility of becoming Trump's running mate. Ramaswamy shared with reporters, "I'm always going to speak my convictions. I'm not somebody who can espouse someone else's convictions. If I can fulfill that role from the vice presidency, I will evaluate what's best for the future of this country." However, during a live stream, at least one of Ramaswamy's supporters could be heard advising him not to back Trump. In an interview with Politico just days before the caucus, Ramaswamy had expressed confidence in achieving a top 3 finish. But he admitted his surprise at the outcome after ending his campaign, saying, "I am a little surprised by what happened tonight. Maybe I shouldn't have been, but I am." Entrance polls indicated that the majority of Republicans were willing to disregard Trump's indictments. However, a concerning sign for the upcoming general election emerged. Over 30% of caucus goers believed that he would not be suitable for the presidency if convicted. In an anticipated closely fought general election, it will be crucial for Republicans to retain the support of GOP members who have reservations about the former president. According to a CBS YouGov poll released on Sunday, an astonishing 70% of GOP voters across the nation believe that Trump, not Haley or DeSantis, represents the party's strongest chance of defeating Biden. This sentiment persists even though the same poll of general election voters indicates that Haley performs better than Trump. During an address to a gathering of supporters in Des Moines on Monday night, Trump spoke as though his rivals were already in the process of exiting the race. "I'd like to offer my congratulations to Ron and Nikki for enjoying their time together," he remarked from the stage. We'll look ahead to New Hampshire after the break. New Hampshire Democrats, despite lingering resentment over Joe Biden's previous attempts to diminish their cherished primary, have rallied to support him in this month's election. Many still harbor frustration over his efforts to rearrange the primary calendar last year, placing South Carolina ahead of New Hampshire. However, they are willing to put those feelings aside for the greater good. Former state Democratic Party Chair Kathy Sullivan, who now leads a pro-Biden super PAC, expressed her conflicted sentiments, saying, "I love Joe Biden. I think he's just been a great president. Having said that, I'm still pissed. But you compartmentalize that. You just put that aside." Biden's attempt to alter the primary order last year sparked resistance from New Hampshire, and the state remained steadfast in maintaining its position right after Iowa's caucuses. This standoff has resulted in a situation where Biden cannot officially compete in the January 23rd primary, as it is considered meaningless by the DNC, which does not recognize its results. Supporters will have to write in his name. Despite this bizarre scenario, New Hampshire Democrats realize that any harm to Biden's image could ultimately benefit Donald Trump, the probable GOP nominee in the general election. Consequently, they have decided to actively support Biden, focusing on ensuring that voters know how to write in his name on the ballot. The Biden write-in effort in New Hampshire lacks the typical infrastructure of a campaign, including field offices, a large staff, rallies, or TV ads. It operates on a relatively meager budget of around $70,000, mainly dedicated to printing instructional signs and covering minimal staffing costs. In contrast, Reverend Dean Phillips and Marianne Williamson, who are competing against Biden in the primary, have been more active in their campaigns. They have criticized Biden's absence and invested substantial funds in TV ads and mailers. While there has been no official communication between the write-in campaign and the White House or Biden's campaign, some signs suggest approval from national Democrats close to Biden. Several national Democrats associated with Biden's campaign have contributed to the write-in effort by making calls, speaking at events, or seeking donations. Despite concerns that the write-in campaign might raise expectations for Biden, most New Hampshire Democrats believe that he simply needs to avoid embarrassing himself in the primary. Recent Democratic presidents running for re-election received over 80% of the vote in the state's Democratic primary, but their names were on the ballot. Biden's challenge is unique due to the write-in process and actual opponents in the primary. Remember, life may have its lockouts, but it's a long way until November. We'll be here for you. I'm Journey Joe Mitchell, and I'll see you next time.